What is up, Titan Nation? How are y'all doing tonight? Thank y'all so much for supporting this channel, and all of you who tweet out this channel and all that type of stuff. It's much appreciated. We are growing. I think we're at 830 subscribers, almost 1K since training camp. We got a great show for you guys tonight. A lot of things happening in the Titans world. You know, everything from Zach Cunningham to Julio's practicing, and you know, it seems like things are on the upswing. Hopefully, we're gonna break it down tonight. We'll get started. Make sure you guys share the show, retweet it, put it on Facebook. Tell your mama, your grandma, whoever is the Titans fan, let them know to tune into the show. We got some awesome people on tonight. Ryan Harris from the Jump Pass TN, and we got James Wheeler from Titans for Life. We got a heck of a show. Let's roll the new intro and get started.
Oh, how y'all doing? This is Jalen Fly, aka the Mountain Mover. Make sure y'all follow my movement. But in the meantime, check us out. I need y'all to like and subscribe because this is Titans Rossi. Oh, let's go.
What's up, guys?
Not much. Just trying to keep up with the Titans and all their moves.
Yeah, what's going on, Rossi? Yeah, a lot to cover. A lot to cover. A lot of moves being made. A lot of people coming back. Looks like the Titans are trending back to the way things were before all the injuries kind of overtook them.
Yes, it's been a crazy season. Like you said, trying to keep up with everything. I mean, it's got to be like 87 players addressed now. Like, keeping up with everybody who's been released, who's got called up, who's blah blah blah. I mean, I don't know if I've ever experienced, at least for a team that I've followed, any team period, basketball, which not as many players obviously, but as far as any type of sport that I've followed, my favorite teams, I don't know if I've ever experienced this many injuries. I don't know if y'all have, if you recall a team that, you know, maybe that y'all followed before, but I know I haven't, you know. But there is hope on the horizon, and we want to welcome Zach Cunningham to the Tennessee Titans. So I'm going to start with you, James. What do you think about this pickup?
Well, it is definitely a pickup of need. It's a good pickup. But, you know, I don't know if the Titans make this move if everyone's healthy, because I don't think that they would need this. This was he's an upgrade to what we currently have available. And to me, that is, how do I put this? It was a good move, especially with the movements that they made with his contract to make sure he was, somebody, make him more attractive to a team.
Yeah, what do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I agree with James. I don't think this move is made if, everybody's healthy in the linebacking core. But overall, I think it's like a blessing in disguise, because this is another great player being added to a linebacking core when everybody's healthy. Now, you look at the linebacking core, it was kind of a little bit of a weakness because of the injuries, but now it's a big strength. And hopefully Long can come back soon. And we're not sure what's going on with Evans, but then you got Jayon Brown. So now you got a linebacking core that pretty respectable around the league. And Zach Cunningham, very good player. I know he had his issues with the Texans. He had some on the field issues with the Texans, but I think that's because the Texans weren't winning, and usually winning cures all. So now you go from a losing franchise to a winning franchise. Now your attitude changes. Now you're ready to go to work because now you're going to play for something. You're playing with a team that's playing for something.
Yeah, and Jim Wyatt released a cool thing today. He's always releasing cool little stats and kind of tidbits and stuff. But it was basically, here it is right here. So since 2018, since Vrabel has been under the helm, if the Titans have had 9 days of rest, they're 6-0. Second in the league since 2018 after 9 days or more of rest. They're 3-0 after the bye since 2008, which is kind of crazy. That's a pretty impressive stat to me. Another person that we picked up was Jordan Wilkins, and Lee Hillis commented on that. He played for the Colts. Do y'all know much about him? I don't really know a whole lot about him. I know I've seen him play and seen him play against us and stuff.
Well, I know a little bit about him. I haven't really been, following a lot of his work, but I do know that, once again, if the Titans are healthy, I don't think this goes. I don't think that they go pick him up. But the Titans aren't 100%. We've lost some guys for the rest of the season. We got to make moves somehow. And the Titans front office is making moves like U-Haul. They're out there making moves left and right, and it's by necessity. It is what it is,
Yeah, he had 164 tackles last season, the most in the NFL, and got snubbed in the Pro Bowl. And it sounds
like
crazy.
A Titan already.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this guy's stats. You know what I mean? 142 in 2019, 164. The dude is a tackling machine. Here's what I've been reading about him and why he basically got cut was because he missed some testing that he was supposed to do. Now, I don't know much about him, his past or anything like that as far as off the field. I didn't see anything like off the field stuff other than that type of thing, which that is a big deal, you got to follow team rules or whatever. But if that's the worst thing that is going on, I feel like Vrabel is a player's coach. He coached him in Houston. So I don't know. Do you guys see that as a big deal, or do you know any more about him that I'm not aware of?
Not really. I don't think it's a big deal. It kind of goes back to my original point. When you're playing for a franchise that's not going anywhere, is losing, frustration kind of hits. It kind of gets to the point where, obviously you want players that are disciplined, that's going to be able to show up to work and put their hard hat on and get to work and do the things to help team win. But it's kind of hard when you're playing for a franchise that's kind of in turmoil. They've been dealing with the Watson situation. It's a lot of, they hired a coach that doesn't have any head coaching experience. So it's a lot of things that's going on. And Zach Cunningham, he used to win it. He's been to the playoffs multiple times as a Houston Texan. So it's not like, he's never been in a winning situation before. So this is new to him. So he probably doesn't know how to handle those kind of situations. But I saw some reports that he was benched a couple of times due to to the team rules and everything. But I don't think it's going to be a big issue here. One thing I know about this Titans franchise, especially under Vrabel, it's a very tight-knit group. They look out for each other. They play for each other, and it's a very loose locker room. So I don't think that kind of stuff is going to fly in Tennessee. And Zach Cunningham, I think he's a true professional. I think he's just going to fit right in.
Well, my thing with Cunningham is that I think the Titans have a lot of player leadership. They have those leaders in those roles, and these are kind of guys you're not going to go against because there's liable to be a misunderstanding in the locker room, and you don't really want to And I think that our team takes care of itself. They take care of all of their internal issues internally, so you don't hear about all of this stuff. And it's just the ethos of your head coach, the other players on your team. That kind of stuff is what's going on with the Titans, and you don't hear a lot of whining and complaining and the prima donna stuff that you hear on other teams, because number one, they won't be there for very long if they start that, and number two, you got guys, even though he's injured like Derrick Henry, he'll just tell you to shut up or else, and the or else is not what you want to find out. You don't want to find out what that or else means.
Yeah, that's definitely true, man. I love Rabel, man. I think he's gonna, be a good coach for a long time. I hope so, and I hope it's for us. I want to give a shout out to some folks in the chat. We've had 16 to 20 people in here, so thank y'all so much for tuning in. Bryce Pratt, what's up? Kent Woods, Lee Hillis, Al Pierce, Raul, my dude. Lee Hillis says, smash that like button. Yeah, please smash the like button. Tighten up the like button, as we say here at the Titan Upload Network. Billy Scott, what's up, my man? BB15, Ryan Dodd, Mark Jones. Man, a lot of people in here commenting tonight. Titan 2K. So thank y'all so much. Now, I did want to get into this. John Glennon tweeted this earlier. And this is basically about Cunningham's contract. Apparently, he's only on the hook, or we're only on the hook for $275,000 this year. I mean, that's a steal. But it says Cunningham is under contract for 3 more years, but next season is only guaranteed for injury at present. So if some reason things don't work out for performance, Titans could release him after this year, be off the hook. What does that mean? Like the injury thing? Do you know?
Well,
do y'all know?
Yeah. In most NFL contracts, they'll be like, if you're injured while you're on the field, then if the team cuts you, then they still owe you your salary. And that's generally what that means when they're talking about guaranteed only for injury. So if, say, next year he comes out and he doesn't play very well, or is a trouble, or gets some kind of trouble, or whatever the issue may be, they can cut him and not be liable for anything else. And that was what I was talking about. I think we were in the before the show. I was talking about they restructured his contract in a friendly way so that he would be able to be picked up by another team. And this is exactly the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome. And I mean, that's cheap. I mean, how in the world, like, how did he fall to us? That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around. Like, I've not seen any explanations. I know, like, the waiver wire had flipped and we were towards the bottom. I mean, did nobody not want this guy? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not really sure either, Rossi. I mean, like you said, we're in the bottom in the waiver wire, and there's a bunch of teams that are ahead of us that need some linebackers. We're not the only team that need linebackers, and we just only need linebackers based off of injury. Some of these other teams need linebackers because they just don't have the depth and the talent in that position. So I don't understand it. But like I said, I'm glad he's a Titan. He's one of those players that I've watched. He played at Vandy. He's from here. He's from Tennessee. So he's a guy that I'm very familiar with. I like his game. I like the energy that he brings. So, props up to John Robinson for continuing to bolster this roster with all the injuries that's going on.
And I think that's a still that he's John Robinson is one of the stills of the century that the Titans got to come in as GM. Um, uh, you know, what he's had to do this year has been nothing short of miraculous miracles. How he's pulled off some of this stuff, how he's brought in guys, and how he's kept track of guys that were either on the practice squad last year or year before and brought them back, said, hey, you already know our defense, you already know our offense, come on in and let's play. His scouting department and what he's been doing is just, phenomenal. I believe, wasn't he a scout before this, before he became a GM?
Yes.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I thought he was a college scout or something like that in New England, wasn't it? Or was it Atlanta?
It was New England.
New England. Okay.
New England,
I knew that he'd done something like that, but I mean, he's just been the still of the century when it comes to GMs. I mean, he settled this franchise down a lot.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. And to be 8-4, considering what's happened this season, I mean, not to, give us, and not to be 8-4 where with the injuries we've had is pretty phenomenal to me.
No,
I mean, considering everything that we've been through, we came out right after Henry won those games. I mean, yeah, it's kind of fallen a little bit since then, but I don't know. And let's get into this Jags game. I'm feeling good about this game. I do want to, and I got a video of Julio, and a lot of people have seen it. And this is Jim Wyatt did take this video, so just to put that out there. But let's see here. This was him yesterday. I think he and you guys give me your opinion on him, because there's been a lot of different opinions. Like, oh, he looks bad. Oh, he doesn't look great. Oh, he looks great. Now I'm going to play this. I can't remember how long it is. It might be like a minute long or something, but then we'll kind of give us your thoughts, and we'll start breaking this game down.
She's doing okay.
So there it is. Now, I saw some videos today. I couldn't really tell much. He looked a little more fluid today, but A to Z did. Austin Stanley did a thing earlier where he showed a video of him in mini camps and then showed a video of him now. And it does look a little different, but I want to see what y'all think of it. And yeah, we'll let Ryan go first.
I mean, I think he looked fine. I mean, he looked like a guy that's coming back from injury. I mean, he's not going to exactly just, light the practice world on fire or anything like that. He's not just going to just, run a 4.3 coming from, dealing with hamstring issues and things of that nature. So, I mean, personally, I think he's fine. That's just one or a few clips of him doing what he's doing. And I seen the video. Compared to what he looked like, in mini and training camp versus now. It does look different. But at the end of the day, I think it's about what you do on Sunday. It ain't about what you do on Tuesday. It's not about what you do on Wednesday. It's about what you do on Sunday. And as long as Julio performs on Sunday, that's all that really matters. I mean, those practice videos, it is what it is. It's just practice.
My thing was that this is during the open session of, where the media is standing there. This team is notorious for not letting you really see what's really going on. So, that's one thing. The if I were to pick apart anything, it was that last little reception he had at practice where he went into his break. He started his break about a yard and a half before the line, but he didn't finish his break and come out of his break until he was a good 2.5, 3 yards past the line. That cut right there is something that will get you a pick every time if you do that in a game. So you got to be careful with that, because that corner, if he's sitting back and he's drifting off and he's got inside leverage on you, and you throw that toward that sideline, he can cut in front of you because you took your cut too wide. So that's one thing I would watch out are his cuts clean? The other thing is maybe they don't put him in a position where he has to cut off his bad leg as much. Maybe they put him in a position where they flip the field on him and then he's cutting off his good leg, which, hey, that coaches do that from time to time. And it's not like we've got a terrible coaches. You know what I'm saying? We got a really good coach that understands, hey, let's do this the right way.
And Dirk says, we're talking about practice.
AI reference.
And
all right, Alan.
A lot of people on Twitter kind of, freaking out about the video, blah, blah, blah. But the guy's coming off a hamstring. Obviously he's going to have to work his way back. But yeah, and I hear what you're saying too, James, on those cuts and stuff. So, and Mark Jones makes a good point. Just having Julio on the field is huge for the offense. He draws attention, frees up the other guys. Yeah, of course. It's I don't know if it's as epic as Henry being out there. I mean, Henry draws a whole team towards him, but the whole defense. But I think he's going to be all right. Now, we need him to produce. It's just point blank. We need Julio down this stretch. Now, I mean, honestly, I think this game is definitely a must win because you're playing the Jaguars. You know what I mean? I just think it's a must win. Because too, you're only two games behind the Colts now. So these easy games, we've lost before with Houston and the Jets, we need to win these games. It's time to quit playing around. You know what I mean? And Shadow Monkey says, do you have any updates on Henry's? There was an article today on Bleacher Report that said he was still on track. I don't know if you got any updates on Henry James as far as you heard anything different.
The only thing that is what we talked about last week on this show where we were discussing Henry, and I said, there's a target date that he would be back, and that, from everything I'm understanding, is still to be the date that he's looking to be cleared. But that doesn't necessarily mean the coaches are going to put him out there that week. I mean, there's still time that he's got to get, back into game shape, which is a lot different than, workout warrior shape. And everybody knows how much of a workout warrior he is. It takes game shape is different. So there's no guarantee he'll come back and play that week, but, watch for him to be designated to return. And then after that, he's got 3 weeks to play. I think is it 3 weeks? Ryan?
3 weeks.
I think it's 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yep.
He has 3 weeks to play. So, or to dress. So I think he's going to be back much sooner than later.
Yeah.
So, and that's been that's been my consistent prediction from sources that I have. So and that's where things stand, and I don't think they're going to change. I think he's progressing nicely.
I can't wait, and I know every time when that news comes out, Derrick Henry is designated to return. Man, it's gonna light Twitter, everybody on fire.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome, and hopefully everything we're hearing is true, and hopefully that happens. So let's get into some of this game, guys, and obviously the Jaguars have had a tough year, and I've seen a lot of videos about Urban Meyer and how he's not getting along with the players and the team, and he's acting crazy in the locker room and going nuts about losses, and he was, even before the season, in the preseason, he would go ape nuts about losses. And I've just heard that it's not working out well with and we all know about the Humpty Hump in the club, and all that. So it's not going well for Mr. Meyer. Now, I mean, I don't wish ill will on anybody. I hope he succeeds, and well, just not against us, but whatever, but
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy, all the stuff that's coming out of there. And basically, here's where the Jaguars stand as far as stat rankings, where they're at, points scored per game, 31st. This is almost a mirror image of what I looked at for the Texans, and I thought, oh, well, that shouldn't be an issue, total yards per game, 31st. Passing yards per game, I think that's 29th. Yeah, 29th. Rushing yards, obviously, they've done better. And that's one thing that I don't understand is, why do they not use James Robinson more? Like, it's unbelievable. Time of possession per game, 31st. Points against, 29th. Total yards against, 23rd. Passing against, 19th. Rushing against, 21st. Sacks, 27th. Interceptions, 28th. So that's a lot to say. But just looking at this, man, I mean, this is a game I'm saying we should win regardless of injuries. So what is y'all's just initial opinion on this game?
I agree. I think that even with the injuries, the Titans are a more talented team than the Jaguars. The Titans, some of the Titans backups are more talented than the Jaguars starters. So I think that this is a must win based off what transpired in the last couple of games with the losses against Houston and New England. And to keep up with New England, you gotta win these games. The schedule is what it is right now. I mean, we're not playing the tough teams that usually the games that the Titans are geared up for against the bigger competition. But you got to win these games, and not only win, you got to dominate these games. I always say this when it comes to playing inferior opponents: you can't give them any kind of reason to believe they can win a game. You can't give them any kind of reason to say, okay, they start out fast, and then all of a sudden you're in a dogfight. You're in a dogfight with a team that has really nothing to play for. They just basically there just to collect a check. But at the end of the day, that's your divisional rival, and the Jags would love to do anything to just go ahead and upset the Titans and put the Titans in a position where now they're gonna have to not only try to get the top spot, but they're gonna be fighting in their own division to win it.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I'd say is we're much better coached than they are. even if the talent was even, which it's not, we're much better coached. The crap that you pull in college, you can't pull that in the NFL. These are grown men. These are grown beeping men.
Yeah.
So you can't go out there and that rah-rah stuff doesn't work. That yelling at them, yelling at a guy who's making $9.5 million a year isn't going to work the same as yelling at a kid that's fighting for a scholarship. It's completely different story. So so I think that when I did some film breakdown of the last game, what I saw was the Titans should be able to run left. They should be able to run directly behind Taylor Lewan, hit that B gap, hit that A gap. But we have to do a better job at seeing that cutback lane. There is a lot of huge. There was a couple of them I could have ran through. That's how big the lane with the cutback lane was. So we have to, our running backs have to do a better job of seeing those. Those are lanes that Derek never missed. You never saw him miss a giant lane running, a cutback lane. You just didn't do it. We have to, that's where our main issue is right now. Defensively, I don't know if they will be able to do too much against our defense. Our defensive line are monsters. Ola's coming back. We've got a lot of guys that are back, and I just don't know if you can do much against our defensive line. They're more athletic. They're faster. They're stronger. I think your cats. I think your cats are wanting in on this conversation.
He's trying to eat my Steve McNair poster. Unbelievable. Sorry about that.
He's a true fan.
Yeah, that's Titans Rusty. Anyways,
so that's where I think we are. I think we should, put the hammer down on them and put it down on them early. That's what you have to do. Take the fight out of them before they know they even have a fight.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I was gonna add, with Urban Meyer and everything. I don't know if y'all noticed this last week, but James Robinson, arguably their best player, right, had a fumble against the Rams. Didn't see the field to the fourth quarter, and I know there was reports in the Jacksonville where a couple of reporters asked James about it. He was basically as confused as everybody else on why he wasn't getting touches until basically the end of the fourth quarter. And in 2021, Carlos Hyde should not be getting more carries than James Robinson. But I remember the first go around when James Robinson had that career day against our Titans.
Yeah.
There was a key down fourth and goal on the Jaguars were trying to score, and instead of having James Robinson on the field, they had Carlos Hyde on the field, and the Titans easily stopped that play. It's just a lot of Ohio State bias going on, but at the end of the day, like James said, this is the National Football League. You got to put your best players out there, regardless. Your best players are going to make mistakes, but you're going to kill a person's confidence if you're not, encouraging them and not saying, hey, that's all right, we'll get them next time, instead of just putting them on the bench just because, you're afraid of another turnover. That's your best player. So I just wanted to add that.
Was that?
Hey, just let him do it, please. Let him do it this game.
Yeah, exactly.
I was at the Jaguars game in Jacksonville this year, and was that? Are you talking about? Was that the 4th and 1 play at the end? Yeah, I was in the stands, and I had great seats for that game. That was awesome, and dude, I couldn't believe that. It blew my mind that happened. That they didn't give Robinson the ball there. So
yeah, but like James said, hey, if they want to go out there and get Carlos out all the carries, I like our chances. I definitely like our chances even more. So go right ahead.
I will. Hey, I will be a sit him on the bench day. I will be happy and clap the whole game.
Yeah. We got a little echo going on. I don't know if it's. I think it's when you. Have you had those on the whole time?
Me?
I think it's. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there we go. I think it's gone. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was when you put. I don't know, plugged it in or something, but we're good now. So yes, yeah, I mean Robinson is a beast, dude. Like, I just don't get that at all. And like you said, the reporter thing. I watched that video today, and that was crazy. And what's crazy too is how these guys are kind of talking about you. You wouldn't really see this in Nashville, like as far as the players talking about the team when they're not around the team, talking. He was basically like, I don't know why the coach did that, to be honest. I don't know why he did that. And I was like, wow, man,
Yeah.
that's pretty crazy, but yeah.
Different culture.
Yeah. Anyways, my wife just turned the light off on me. Hold on just a second. I'll be right back.
All right.
So Ron, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Okay. When you were when we went into this bye week, what were you thinking about how this was going to turn out in the bye week? What were you thinking about?
To get somebody back, anybody, just anybody to get. I mean, of course, I wasn't expecting everybody that's been on the injury list to come back, but just to get a couple of players back. I know Breyer had COVID. He came back he's back from COVID, so that was great. Getting Krushank back, that's great. Of course, obviously Julio coming back, that's the big one. So just to get a couple of players back, just kind of get some kind of encouragement. That's all I was really looking for, and hopefully, in the next week or so, we can at least get 85% of our roster back. So that would be great.
One of the people who we haven't talked about, who I thought was is a big person to have back, is Logan Woodside. To be honest with you, I mean, because if something happened to Tannehill, we were in trouble.
Yeah, because I forget. Yeah, because we had Kevin Hogan as the backup quarterback. Yeah, that wasn't good. I mean, having a backup quarterback is definitely something that, I mean, yes, we kind of disregard it because obviously we want the starter there. But yeah, definitely you want somebody that knows the playbook just in case something happens to Tannehill. And that's been the most amazing thing, really, one of the most amazing things this season. With all the injuries that's been going on, Tannehill's been the most. I mean, he's taken some hits, a lot of hits, and he still, shows up on Sunday, week in and week out. So we got to be thankful of Tannehill, despite his struggles.
Yeah, for sure. And like Mark said, McNichols too, he's coming back. Wow, the Vikings are crushing the Steelers right now. I'm just looking at Dalvin Cook, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wow. Najee Harris, 6 carries for 14 yards. So, and Big Ben has thrown 3 picks. No, he's been sacked 3 times. I was about to say 3 picks. Wow. But yeah, and Mark Jones says Tanny is a warrior. He is. I mean, he gets knocked down, gets back up. Like, you don't see, he doesn't at least show that he's rattled. The injury report, we are getting a lot of people back. I really like getting Ola back. He's up for a Pro Bowl for special teams player. You got Greg Maben's back, which me and James were talking on the phone earlier, but he's been practicing. Which, like we were talking about earlier on the phone, James, about how we can't afford to lose any more cornerbacks or to lose any at all, really. So the one thing that's concerning here is Danico Autry. It's never good when a player practices, one day and then he doesn't practice the next, and it's not due to rest. So I don't know what's going on with Autry. It wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't play Sunday, just because it seems like it happens this way sometimes. If they're kind of limited all throughout the week, then that's one thing. But I don't know if he did something in practice. Do y'all know anything about that?
I haven't heard a word.
Okay.
But I do know that sometimes they'll do like they'll practice on, like, say, Wednesday, and they'll be sore on the next day, and they'll go in, instead of practicing them, they'll go in for treatments and things like that to try to get them ready for the walkthrough on Friday, and then playing on Sunday. That's not uncommon within the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Jaguars, here's basically the team leaders. Trevor Lawrence, obviously the leading passer for them. James Robinson should have like at least 900 yards right now. 800 or something. Carlos Hyde, 251 yards. Marvin Jones Jr., their leading receiver. That's Chenault, dude. I remember watching him and when I was there, man. He impressed me when I watched him play. Dan Arnold is actually a pretty good tight end. I think he might be hurt though. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the injury report again. And then you got the sacks. Josh Allen's a leader. Then you got Smoot, 4 sacks. And they just don't have a lot going on, man. I'm not trying to look, any team like Houston beat us, the Jets beat us, like any given Sunday, you know what I mean? I am not one of those people that are like, we're just going to beat the living crap out of them. And, it wouldn't surprise me if it's a close game, but I do have a good feeling this week. I just have a good feeling that we could comfortably win this game. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I'm just having a good feeling about it. I don't know if that's based on any type of factual, educated assessment. It's just, I'm just feeling it. How do y'all feel about it? Do you think? I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and give a score prediction. All right, and I'm going to say 27 to 17. And we're controlling it. I think we come out strong. Do y'all got a score prediction yet?
Yeah, I think I do. I said 30 to 17. So I was pretty close to you, Rossi, with the score prediction. But yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Remember, when we played the Jaguars the last time, we was coming off that loss against the Jets, and then that started that 6-game winning streak. So I'm thinking that it's going to be the same thing here, where this is the get right game, and then afterwards, we got Pittsburgh, got the 49ers on Thursday Night Football, and then I think that's going to be the get right game, because this is the kind of time of the season really where it's about getting hot going into the playoffs, and it's not really too much about what happened in October and not necessarily what happened in November. But if you can do good in December football that kind of leads you into January and possibly February, that's what it starts with this particular game. This is a game where the Titans, I feel like they should at least win by 2 scores.
Well, my thing is, I think that we're coming off the bye week and playing at home. That is a big deal. You don't have that extra travel day coming off that bye week. Coming off a bye week and getting players back, getting some of them healthy. I think everybody's going to come out with a little bit more spring in their step. I just see them pouring it on them early, and then kind of trying to cruise a little bit near the end. I think it's going to be something like 34-20, where most of the 20 comes in the fourth quarter, where the Titans are just like, oh, well, whatever, guys, go ahead and get some, we're going to get some guys out there that we're going to, in case of injury, we may need later. That's just where I see things going for the Titans is that, man, I tell you that it's concerning to me that, the Jacksonville Jaguars are wounded. What they say about a wounded animal, they're the most dangerous types of animals, but I just don't see any leadership on that team. I don't see anybody that would go over on that sideline and all the players look at him and go, yeah, we better do what he says. I just don't see anybody on that team that's like that. That's coaching staff included.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't either. I think James Robinson could be a leader. Like, he seems like the type of guy just from seeing him in interviews. I don't know, but they're not letting him,
Yeah, I mean, he's not. They basically letting Carlos Hyde be the guy
crazy
in some of those games. So I don't know. I guess Trevor Lawrence could be a leader just from the base of the fact he's the quarterback. But yeah, like James was saying, they have no leadership. So basically, it's a wounded animal with no direction. So usually, when it's a wounded animal with no direction, it could, unfortunately be, it's going to be disastrous. So I just think the Jaguars, to me, I just think they're just ready for the season to be over with on one end. And just, they're just playing out the rest of the season. Hopefully they get a top 5 pick so they can improve their team. And hopefully the Titans can take advantage of that. Like I said before, don't give them any reason to believe they can win a game, because 9 times out of 10, if you do, and then what happens is going to be the same thing that happened in Houston, against Houston at the Jets as well.
Well, if they get a top 5 pick, hopefully they use it wisely. And they had 2 last year. They got Lawrence and they picked up Etienne, and they didn't need a running back.
No.
They had glaring needs elsewhere. And then, you never know who's going to get injured, but obviously Etienne got injured before the season even started. So that was a wash. Now, we picked up Farley and he got injured, but, either way, I do want to give a shout out to the Power Hour. I saw him in here, so big shout out to him. And I want to, let them know where we haven't done this yet. I'm sorry, guys, but let them know where they can find you guys. I know you're both just kind of started stuff. I know you did a little while ago, Ryan, but let them know where they can find you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can find me personally on Twitter at Ryan Harris 662. Also, you can follow my podcast. It's called The Jump Pass at The Jump Pass TN, at TN as in abbreviated Tennessee. Also, you can find me you can find my show on all streaming platforms, including Apple, Spotify, Amazon, all the major platforms. And I'm not hard, it's not hard to miss. You'll see Derrick Henry doing the jump pass against the Ravens in that 2020 playoff run. 2019-20 playoff run. So, I talk a little bit, I ran a little bit, so check me out.
Nice, man.
And you can find me on Twitter. I'm new to Twitter, so please be patient with me. I don't know how to tweet very, very well, so you can find me on Twitter at Big Sportsman3 on Twitter, and of course on YouTube you can find me at Titans for Life. So I put out videos, and I've got one coming out tomorrow that wasn't a planned video. I kind of ran a little bit. So if you want to see me fired up, tomorrow is the time to see me. I'm normally kind of like this, just kind of laid back, but I got a little riled up.
All right. I look forward to seeing that, man. One video I did want to show, and this is our boy here, me and Upload. Obviously it's well known that this is our dude, but this is a video that came out today of Kinsey in practice. He made a heck of a play. I just wanted to play it before we did get off here. Pretty quick, but I think the dude. I mean, look, man, I'm a homer. I'm a Kinsey fan. I know his family. Like, they're. I just wish. I know the reason why they're not playing him. We've talked about it till we're blue in the face on the Upload Network and on this channel and everything. But man, I just really wish they would give that guy a shot. I know they did 1 week, but I wish they would put him in on the offense during a game and see what the guy can do, because I really think he could help us, but I don't think it's going to happen this year at all. It obviously, I mean, they're playing Dez 60 snaps a game, so that just goes to show you're right there. They're not worried about probably calling him up this season again, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, one thing I wanted to say before we got out of here, actually, this is kind of funny. I was actually supposed to have Jalen Fly on tonight, and I just totally forgot about it. So, and I texted him. I texted him earlier, and I was like, "Hey, dude, I totally forgot to schedule you for tonight because I'd already asked you guys a couple of days ago. I wasn't even. I've started a new job recently. It's kind of crazy. It's got me kind of mentally swamped. But Jalen Fly, you guys probably know who he is, but he's the guy who was practicing outside the Titans facility, or he's been on the show, and he also he was in the intro to our show, but he'll be on next Thursday night. So all of you in the chat, check that out. It's going to be really cool. He'll be giving us updates, guys, about what he's been doing. He's been to some camps where he's had some scouts looking at him, things like that. He's got a really cool thing that he does where he goes around and it's for kids and stuff like that, where he like a speaker, he goes around and helps kids and things like that, motivational speaker type stuff. So it's going to be a really cool show. You know what I mean? It's going to be really cool. So anything else y'all got before we get on out of here? Thank you guys for coming on. You both are awesome. I appreciate both of you. Ryan, dude, you're the man. You're always supporting, tweeting out our stuff. And I know Titan Upload appreciates it as well. But yeah, anything else y'all got?
Go ahead, Ron.
Like I said, just be on the lookout for my next episode. It will be out tomorrow morning, bright and early. So while y'all, eating some eggs, bacon, at Chick-fil-A or whatever, drinking coffee, working out at the gym, check me out, listen to me. Gonna be talking about, the Jaguars and other things. So, and I just saw that too while I got hurt in that Steeler game. So that's with hopefully, Watts, better. But at the same time, we do play them next week. So just check me out. I will upload the episode tomorrow, and
Awesome.
Hopefully y'all enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah.
James?
My thing is, I would be looking around the 49ers game to hear some news about Henry. That's when I would be really starting to look. Sources are telling me that's when they're looking for an evaluation on him,
Nice.
Go, no go type thing. So that's the news. That's the only Derrick Henry news. I still, have very little things on AJ Brown, very little information about AJ Brown, what's going on with him. But just everybody. I really enjoy being on Rossi's show, and every once in a while I'll look over here on my screen, and what I'm looking at is the comments down there, and I really like how people are nice, within our community. Everyone's
Yeah.
nice to one another, and I enjoy that. I don't like getting on some of these blogospheres, and you see these people just being complete donkeys.
Yeah.
But and I want to say again, thank you for encouraging me to do the YouTube thing, man, and helping me out and teaching me all the things that you've taught me, all the different softwares and things like that you walked me through. Thanks a lot. It's just and once again, I'm going to say I'm going to pay it forward too. I'm going to help other people do that, and help other people get into this, and the more people we have supporting the Titans on YouTube, I think the more national media we're going to get.
Yeah.
We're not getting any national media, and that sucks, because we're a really good team, really well coached, really well managed team, and we just keep getting. I mean, I feel like we're a septic tank, because they just keep pooping on us.
Yeah. That's a good analogy there.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's true. And yeah, no problem, man. Anytime, dude, anytime. So anyways, I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna wrap it up here in a few minutes and say bye to these folks. But yeah, I'll see y'all later and tighten up, and thank you again for coming on.
Keep it real. Tighten up.
Thank you, Rossi. Tighten up.
Yeah, man. See y'all. So there you go. There is Titans for life and Ryan Harris. Both awesome dudes. Much respect to both of them. Great. Both of them are great human beings as well. So I really do appreciate their support and their input as well. So anyways, thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. I see all your comments. Sorry I haven't been able to get to them as much as I usually do. It's kind of hard. And when you got one guest on, it's not as difficult. When you got two or more, it's a little more difficult. But I do see you out there, and I try to put you on the screen and stuff. So I do appreciate it. Kent Woods, Mark Jones, Billy, Zach Cunningham for sure. Brad, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. As always, you guys. Bryce, what's up, man? Thank you for being such a big supporter of our channel. Bryce was on the Power Hour show a couple of weeks ago, a week ago or something. So check that out. Raul, my buddy, he lives near me. We got to get together soon. Paulie D, what's up, Paulie D? BB15. All you guys are such big supporters. MB, thank y'all so much, man. Hey, Buck Rising Show is 22 watching now, 5 more than you guys. It's because I'm on, man. It's because I'm on. You know what I mean? I'm taking away his viewers, right? No, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Plus, if you look at A to Z, also broadcast over every platform. So what you're seeing on YouTube is not really the numbers they're getting in. I've thought about, broadcasting on Twitter. The only thing with Twitter is people can't chat. Like when you post in the comments in Twitter during the live feed, they don't show up on the screen, which is weird to me. But yeah, they broadcast through Facebook and everything. So, a lot of they got a huge following on Facebook as well. So I've thought about starting a Facebook. It's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with. Just keeping up on Twitter is a lot. I have a personal Facebook, but we just hit over 1,000 followers on Twitter. So if you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please do. Like, we're literally almost to 1K. Once I get to 1K, I have a little more features. I can start doing some more things. and I can do the super chats and put money back into the channel and all that stuff too. I did want to show this, and this could be, and somebody posted kind of the similar thing on Twitter earlier too, but I did want to post it. So basically, if in a perfect world, this could be our lineup going into the playoffs. Now, obviously, injuries are injuries. You never know what's going to happen, and we can't predict anything this year because it's been literally insane. But if these guys can get healthy, now we don't know what's up with Autry. We don't know really how Bud Dupree is progressing, but I would expect Dupree to be back. This could be the defensive line, the defensive depth chart going into the playoffs. I mean, you throw Zach Cunningham in there, you get David Long back. Jackrabbit should be coming back, but you get Tierra Tart back. If you can get some of these key guys back, and you're pretty healthy on your defense going into the playoffs, that defense is going to look like it did kind of earlier on. When we are desperately missing Tierra Tart and Bud Dupree, desperately. Nobody talks about Tierra Tart much. Tierra Tart was a monster. He was making a lot of plays. Yeah, he didn't get a lot of stats, but he was a monster in those games. And you take him and Bud Dupree off the line, that was kind of the fearsome foursome. You know what I mean? Now they're not even playing. So it's a different line. You got Big Jeff, you got Landry. Autry's been in there, but you don't have Tart, you don't have Dupree on the edge, and then you don't have David Long. So I think the defense has taken a huge hit by not having these key players. You get these key players back, this defense could be just as good as it was. It was trending in an awesome direction. We were getting all those sacks, things were happening, turnovers. We just, we got to get some of these guys healthy. You know what I mean? If we can get some of these guys back especially on defense, especially on offense too, and we can be healthy. And like James said, be looking for some Henry news come the San Francisco game. As far as that's kind of when they want him to start evaluating him. So, we could be looking at a designated return, which is a 3-week window. We could be looking at a designated return around the San Francisco game, where you start kind of hearing rumblings of, okay, well, Henry's, he's designated a return. That would be the 23rd, so right before Christmas. That would be a heck of a Christmas gift, right? Derrick Henry for Christmas. How would that be, folks? That would be amazing, right? So yeah, we might get that gift. You never know. So thank you guys for tuning in. Paulie D, Mark, all you guys. What's up, TA? We're just wrapping it up, dude. I know you were probably doing a watch party tonight, but big shout out to Titan Anderson, man. That dude, that's my dude right there. So shout out to him. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get off here, guys. We did hit over an hour. You guys have been awesome tonight. I do appreciate all the support, all the comments. You guys really rock, man. This YouTube thing has been pretty cool. It's been a cool journey. I didn't know it would take off like this. So, it makes it better when people are interacting, when people are watching, because it makes you feel like what you're doing is worth it. And all the work that I put into this, it is appreciative. So thank you guys so much. It means a lot to me. Brad, what's up? Thanks, dude. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate that. And like I said, tell your friends, tell your other Titans buddies, hey, we're 170 away from 1,000 since freaking training camp. I mean, that's pretty good for a Titans YouTube channel. So, we're almost to 1K. That's amazing. So thank you guys so much. Great show, brother. Thanks for what you do. Yeah, man, no problem at all. Thank you guys as well. And I'm going to get out of here. I will see you guys. I'm going to go play the new Halo campaign. I've been kind of wanting to play it all day. I played I didn't really have time. I played some of it earlier, so pretty excited to see what that's all about. Al Pierce says, "Go Titans, kick Jacksonville and Jaguar tail," and we will end it on that as we usually do. And Al Pierce, Oiler strut, kick massive tail comment. So thank you guys again. Tighten up. Let's go. We'll see you later.